गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे Do you know what is H2O, NaCl? Our normal answer, definitely yes, H2O is water. And NaCl is sodium chloride, it's a salt. They are formulas, they are sutras. Question is how to open that sutra. And you can write more than 500 pages on H2O. Starting from two atoms of hydrogen combines with one atom of oxygen, and then go on looking after the properties of a hydrogen as an element, oxygen as an element, and how they combine, whether it's electrovalent or covalent bonding, and how come they change their chemical properties. And it's a long list. The water is soluble in some of the other liquids, other are insoluble. So then you get the entire essence of what exactly you mean by H2O. What about Patanjali Yoga Sutras? They are compressed files. They are zip files. We have to unzip it. The same way I just explained about the water. But what we do? At Yoga Anushashanam, now the discipline of yoga begins. That is a rough translation of the first sutra. So let us move to the second sutra. Did we unzip the file? Did we uncompress the file? And in that folder, we find hundreds of files like H2O. So the Patanjali gives a clue, which Vyasa, as a great commentator, followed. Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there are 195 sutras. You can scribe it on hardly A4 paper, front and the back. All the sutras can be written there. And the Vyasa, the great commentator and a great master, explained what Patanjali meant by every sutra. The way the scientist can tell you and go on explaining what it means by H2O. But we have need not to go into the nitty gritty and complexities. Simple procedure needs to be followed in order to but why we understand? To acquire the right knowledge. But why we get the right knowledge? So that our practice will also be right. Why the practice has to be right? To get the right experience. But why to have the right experience? To change the brain. But why to change the brain? To change our attitude and behavior. But why to change our attitude and behavior? Certain those characteristics, those attitude and behavior causes the stress and anxiety, duality, and conflict in my personal, professional, social, and family lives. Oh, that is why we need to change. So there are three steps. Shabda means the word that we read, study, listen from a teacher. At Yoga Anushasana. Second step is the meaning of atha. For example, in the first sutra, so meaning of atha, there are maybe 7 or 8 different meanings. So now question comes, which meaning fits here in this sutra? Who tells us? Commentator, our Vyasa, Vachaspati, Bhoj. If I try to find out the meaning based on my intellect, I should have written Yoga Sutra. So the knowledge that is passed on from the tradition has to be followed. Shabda Pramana. What is Shabda Pramana? It is the valid means of knowledge. So the two part happened. Shabda, word, we understood the word, and the artha, the meaning. But meaning doesn't give me the right perspective. So in essence, the knowledge is hidden into it. Again, question comes. Who explains the knowledge of the physical, chemical properties of the water? A scientist. Similarly, our masters explain the very knowledge hidden in that sutra. But that is not the end of it. Once I acquire the knowledge by listening and learning from the teacher, that is Shravanam. But then we have to think over it. We have to relate that knowledge to our life. Example, why the mind is wandering. The mind is wandering in the world outside. It cannot wander inside. There are not two. There is only one reality living inside, deep inside my heart. How the mind can wander? See that. So now I get the knowledge, and now I have to implement. I become aware where the mind is running, which object, which time, which place. Gita says, Desh Bandh, Desh Kala Vastu. So I have to think within my mind. That is what the master says. Simply listening doesn't work. We listen to the song, we listen to the hero in a film. So that after listening, contemplation and reflection. Why? The intellect becomes clear, it is absorbed into the knowledge. What do you mean by clear? There is no confusion. Because we don't have a confusion about where our house is located, we may go too far from the house. We definitely reach our home. So once the knowledge is clear, that intellect inspires us to practice, and when we practice, we change our life. Yoga is a journey to awakening, realization, and transformation. So understand, keep in mind, we will follow the same pattern. Shabd, Arth, Jnanam, word, meaning, and the knowledge hidden into it. Then we'll also understand that how to apply that through contemplation and reflection. And then it follows the practice naturally to bring about a change in our life.